you handle winning trades? I know that sounds like a weird question to pose you, but that's the question today. Hi, it's Charlie giving you Saturday's video. So I got back on from holiday on Thursday, and I was in the day trading room yesterday, and I was talking to the day traders. We're in a trade at the moment, which is up 12R. Okay, just over 12R as of Friday's close. About 12R, so that's a 1 to 12 risk to reward. Oops, there's a 12 risk to reward ratio. Now, in anyone's book, that's a pretty good trade. Here's the trade itself on the challenge account. So looking pretty healthy, you would say. Oh, that looks pretty good, yeah. I'll do an update, by the way, on the challenge account in the next couple of months. So I've been meaning to do one on that, and so. But anyway, so I'll get an update done on the challenge. The last challenge update I did was back in June, so I'll get one done in the next couple of months. Anyway, so we were discussing this trade, so you'd say, well, what's wrong with that? Well, coming back to the original question, can you handle having winning trades? It's easier said than done, because when you're in a big trade, a big risk reward ratio trade like that, what do you think the temptation is going to be? Well, the temptation is going to be to bank the profits. That's a natural desire. The more you get into profit, that there's a little devil on your shoulder saying, go on, bank it, bank it, bank it. And you can understand why. I mean, I've had a series of small losers lately, and so if you have a series of small losers and then you go into a trade where you're in a big healthy profit, the temptation is going to be even greater to want to bank that profit and say, well, let's just have this, we just had a series of losers, well, or generally speaking, and let's bank this, now. So the little demons crop up all of the time in trading, or it could just be you actually having a winning run anyway, and then you just want to continue your winning run by banking the profit. Either way, it comes back down to mindset. So we were in the trading room yesterday, and a couple of the members admitted that they'd already banked theirs. They'd said, I just want, I got to XYZ, profit, and I just thought, that's it, I've had, I'm done, I'm going to bank this, I'm going to take it. And I think the other thing is, you don't have to be in a risk reward ratio trade of 12R or 20R, whatever. You don't have to look for those sort of trades, because as I often say, that trade may not be for you. And what I mean by that, it comes back down to psychology and mindset, that maybe you're not ready for a 12R ratio, risk reward ratio trade. You may not have developed the mindset skills to be able to hold on. So for a couple of those members there who mentioned yesterday, maybe that's the case, that they're just not ready yet for holding on to a trade that long, and hence why they've come off. Or maybe they're disappointed with themselves right now, and thinking, no, I really want to be in that. Well, they're always going to say that now, of course, but if they do feel upset with themselves, what they've got to do is work on their mindset so that they can, the next time there's a big risk reward ratio trade on, that they hold on. And so again, it sounds easy when you're getting into, you get yourself into a position where you've got a trade which is really running for you. It sounds easy to think, oh, fantastic, you just run it and then you come out at whatever your exit is. But it's not that easy, because the little demon's constantly in your ear. So what you have to do is counter that by constantly doing self-talk. I've talked about this sort of stuff a lot. You have to talk about, okay, how would I feel right now if the trade I'm in reverses all the way back up and comes up to wherever your stop loss is, and I get stopped out? How would I feel if I gave up that 12R, let's say, and it ended up being a 1R trade, or a break-even trade, or even a 2R trade? How would I feel? If your answer is that you're going to feel really disappointed, then you don't deserve to be in the 12R trade right now. You might as well come out. That is your limit. See what I mean? You have to constantly do self-talk, to constantly be checking on yourself to see, well, how will I feel? I'm holding on. I'm on like this white knuckle ride at the moment. I'm holding on for dear life. You're on this bucking bronco which is trying to kick you off. But at the same time, you have to say, do you know what? This is as far as I can take this trade. This is as far as I've got to my limit now, because I would be really upset if it turned over. Because you can't be upset if you're in a trade that's whatever the R multiple is. Let's take this 12R multiple, which might end up becoming a, let's say, a 20R. I know what it potentially will be, but let's just go with that for now. So if you bank it, then fine, that's absolutely fine, because you've reached the limit of where you can take that trade emotionally. You've reached the limit. Because if you say, well, no, if it rolled all the way back over and I ended up with 1 or 2R or break even or whatever, I'll be really upset with myself because I left that 12R sort of thing on the table. Then it's the right thing to come out. But you're never going to get the 20R trade or the 30R trade, which are potentially there, if you do come out at 12R or you come out at 4R or whatever the level is. But it's something that you can work on. It's progress, isn't it? So it's something that you can say, yeah, I'm a 4R trader right now, and I'm fairly comfortable with being a 4R trader, getting to 1 to 4 risk reward ratio sort of trades, and I'm out. And I'm working on becoming a 6R or whatever. Or the flip side to that is you don't have to be looking for big risk reward ratio trades at all anyway. You could just say, no, that's not what I want. I want to be in shorter risk reward ratio trades, which I might look for whatever. Let's just take, for argument's sake, 1 to 2, 1 to 3 risk reward ratio trades, and that's enough for me, and I do those and I move on. So everybody has their own levels to work towards, but if you want to get to the next level, let's say, then you have to work on your mindset. And it is exactly the same with someone who looks for smaller risk rewards. So their win rate is likely going to be higher, but they're going to have their own demons as well, because when they have a series of losers, which always happens in trading, you always have winners and you have losers, they're going to get challenged, that even they're going to want to come out and bank profits at, let's say, 1R or maybe half an R, because if they have a few losers, then that temptation is going to be there just to bank profits as well. So at every stage of the profitability game, it comes back down to mindset. Can you handle being profitable? You might have a lovely equity curve which is going up and up and up, and then all of a sudden you find yourself tightening up as a trader, and you're thinking, why am I tightening up? You don't want to give back your profits anymore. It's because you've had a good run and you don't want to give it back. So again, even if you've had a good run as a trader, do not underestimate the power of that little demon who's sitting on your shoulder, constantly in your ear, whether trying to get you to bank your profits when you're in a nice trade and maybe you should be holding on it for more, or starts getting you to tighten up in your trading, and maybe you end up getting a bit fearful. You've had a lovely run and you start moving your stops up a little bit too aggressively, or again you start banking your profits too soon. So it doesn't really matter. And don't think, I use mechanical strategy, so therefore this doesn't apply to me, because that's nonsense as well. Because it doesn't matter if you use mechanical strategies, you use automated software, it doesn't matter. You're still going to be affected by whatever the mechanical strategy is. So people think, oh, well, I remove the emotion from trading because I use mechanical strategies. That's not really true, because at the end of the day, you're still watching that mechanical strategy, in which case you still have that potential to interfere with it and turn it off or stop using it, whatever. So there's loads and loads of aspects to trading and trading profitably which you have to consider. But the main thing is that no matter what your trading style is, whether you're a higher frequency trader who's churning over more smaller risk reward ratio trades, or you're someone who takes bigger risk reward ratio trades, ultimately it's going to come back to how's your mindset, how's your self-talk. Because if you're not doing that stuff at some point you're going to start to mess around with the very trades that can give you those profits. That's my thoughts for the day. Have a wonderful weekend. Do give us a video a like if you enjoyed the videos, and do subscribe to the channel because it always means that you get notifications when new videos drop. Take care for now. I'll see you next week.